folks, on the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time, has Impact Wrestling been canceled by Spike TV? How could the Divas have delivered the best segments on WWE TV this week, and why? When is WWE returning for a live TV taping? And we've got free tickets for a couple of shows to give away. All that and more right here, right now on My 24 Milwaukee.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report PrimeTime TV, the longest-running pro wrestling news program in the world, with your hosts, David Hero and Damian Nelson.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night here on My 24 Milwaukee. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David, the alleged one-time hero.
I get the whole deal. Come on. Enough is enough.
You can't put words into my mouth.
I'm not putting anything in your mouth.
How are you feeling here on this first Saturday in August 2nd, 2014?
I love it. Summer we're finally getting some nice weather here.
We're on the road to SummerSlam.
Yes, we are. Makes me nervous. You in Los Angeles? Linda Kay in Los Angeles?
That'll be fine.
All bad.
Well, let's get to this week's big story, ladies and gentlemen. And earlier this week, TMZ released a story saying that Spike TV had canceled TNA Impact Wrestling on its network and would not be renewing the current contract that expires in October. TMZ said in their report, and I quote, "Multiple sources with direct knowledge of the deal tell us that Spike executives contacted TNA President Dixie Carter late last week to break the news. And the following day, Carter informed members of her inner circle."
Can you imagine how that phone call must have gone?
Hey, Dixie, we're done.
Can you imagine the panic in her voice, knowing she has to now take that news to her parents?
Well, it has been long known that TNA has been in negotiations with Spike to renew their TV programming after the expiration of their current 5-year deal. TNA President Dixie Carter did chime in on Twitter saying that the negotiations with Spike TV are still ongoing, and Spike TV released a statement saying that they do not comment on ongoing negotiations.
Which means they're still negotiating, right? If they're not going to comment on it?
Seemingly.
Because if they were done, then they could comment on it.
Correct.
So they're still talking.
However, there's another piece to this about damage to the brand in searching for a new home, and Spike potentially helping TNA not suffer from that damage, which would cost them money.
But I'm confused.
Given this, it appears that it is certainly not a lock that TNA has lost its TV home, but you do have to believe that it is at least in jeopardy. If so, this is a major blow to TNA, as their TV rights revenue is their single largest revenue stream, and it is what is keeping the company afloat.
I don't know, there's still a lot of Sting t-shirts on clearance.
You gotta sell quite a bit of them to match the monies being levied by Spike TV. Several wrestling news sites took this story and reported that the reason that the show was canceled was due to Spike's dissatisfaction that Vince Russo, remember him?
Yeah, I guess he's a deal killer.
Is still involved with the company. Now, Russo had stated in recent weeks that he was not employed by TNA, but in the days following the TMZ announcement, Russo announced on Twitter that he had left TNA, showing that all the while he was in fact still with the company. Now, PWR is able to tell you that Vince Russo had nothing to do with Spike's decision, and in fact, it boiled down to one very key thing that TNA did not want to do that led to the deal going sour, David Hero, sour.
You know, it's embarrassing that people are saying that Vince Russo killed the television deal. Because the fact of the matter is this, if Vince Russo was that much of a problem for Spike, they would have pulled Dixie aside, slapped her on the hand, and said, "Hey, Dixie, if you want this to happen, he needs to go."
Dixieland.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no. Here's the thing that no one is talking about.
No one?
Nobody.
You're saying these reports are wrong.
Listen, I have given the wrestling online journalists a whole week.
That term should not be used. There are a few wrestling journalists out there. Yes, there are.
Yeah, there are a couple.
Most are.
But
not.
I'm the opinionist. I'm the only one.
And I'm a broadcast journalist.
Yes, you are. And the real reason why that the deal has fallen apart is that Spike TV wanted to buy a percentage of TNA Impact Wrestling.
What?
Yes. Much like how they wanted to buy some stuff for Bellator. Now they own part of Bellator. And what happens when Spike TV, Viacom, is a part owner? They can then promote the show across their other brands.
But they can do that now.
But if they have some money into it, it means that much more.
An investment.
An investment.
Now you're saying Vince Russo had nothing to do with it.
No, not at all.
He's nothing to do with it.
No.
And Spike wanted to purchase a controlling stake.
No. Just they wanted a percentage. It could have been 10%. It could have been 20%.
Part owners of
yes,
the broadcast company.
And why wouldn't you want that?
Well, why didn't they want that?
Because it's ego and vanity involved, and who wouldn't want to have your television partner as your legit business partner?
Remember when the company was for sale? Because it was for sale, ladies and gentlemen, and it was there was an attempted buyout. And what was the one reason that buyout fell through?
Well, it's probably the same reason it is right now.
They wanted one person gone?
Yep. Dixie.
And they wouldn't do that. So here's the question. Impact Spike TV got a couple of weeks here still to work out this deal if they are continuing to negotiate. And the point I was making earlier is when WWE left Spike, they announced that they had canceled or that they had not renewed that contract. Mm-hmm. It put WWE in a unique situation from a negotiation standpoint going back to the USA Network because they had no home, so they had no leverage. What Spike is possibly doing at this point, the deal could be done, meaning finished, and they are simply not publicly announcing that in an effort to make sure that TNA Impact Wrestling finds a new
Impact
home,
Wrestling has no leverage with anybody. And let's not, Jim Ross pointed out something really important.
Jim Ross,
good old JR. He mentioned
business,
that WWE got considerably less for their new TV deal with USA than they were hoping to get.
Mm-hmm. But they got more.
But they were hoping for a lot more.
Absolutely,
and they didn't get it.
They did not.
TNA Impact Wrestling, 1 million views a week, isn't on the same level as WWE. It's going to be a hard sell.
But it is TV's number one rated show.
Right. They might wind up on the Oprah network. She needs programming.
It is Spike TV's number one rated show. It does have some value. But this would be, if they can't find a replacement, a death blow for TNA Impact Wrestling.
Oh, they'd be finished.
Which is not something I want, which is not something you want, and it should not be something any of you want, because firstly, a lot of great people would lose their jobs, a lot of great talents would have nowhere to go, and then you've got a monopoly again. Now, yes, there is Ring of Honor out there, and yes, there are other wrestling organizations, but quite frankly, on the main stage, national television, destination television, live wrestling programming, you don't want one game in town. You want competition.
Spike and TNA have been butting heads for a while on a lot of different things. Even as far as the content, TNA has now gone to more of a PG type show, if you notice. Ken Anderson no longer has his a-holes. You know, their language is toned down quite a bit, and that's by TNA. Spike TV has said, hey, you guys say what you want. You can even drop F-bombs after 10 o'clock. We'll just bleep it out. They want that kind of edgy content, and TNA's not giving it to them.
One more time with your exclusive, which I think you reported earlier here. Spike TV, TNA Impact Wrestling. Deal fell apart. Why?
Because Spike TV wanted to buy a percentage and be a partner of TNA Impact Wrestling, not because Vince Russo was secretly behind the scenes as a consultant for the company. Yes. That's embarrassing that somebody would even report that. It's just, I mean, listen, Vince Russo, he's done a lot of good in wrestling, and he's done some bad, but to say he's the guy that killed a television deal is asinine.
Oh, I love that word. It's great.
Yeah, I can use that once in a while.
Well, folks, there you have it here first from PWR. And there's so much more to come here on the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime, including a look back at WWE television. We're going to tell you how you can win tickets to SummerSlam and Ring of Honor. As a matter of fact, let's go to Linda Kay right now to tell you how you can tweet and win.
PWR is giving away tickets to WWE SummerSlam. Join David, Damian, and myself in the PWR suite at the Staples Center in Los Angeles for free by tweeting along with us during the show. Be sure to use the hashtag PWRTV. One lucky fan will win 2 tickets to the event, and the winner will be announced the week before the show on primetime. This contest includes tickets only, and you must handle your own travel to Los Angeles. So keep those tweets coming, and you will qualify to join us at SummerSlam.
Follow us on Twitter for breaking news, live wrestling chat, and pure hilarity. Head over to twitter.com/PWR show and be part of the conversation.
Hey, do you wanna be famous? Everywhere you go, people know what your name is. Everyone you know trying to tell you
Wrestling Report PrimeTime Saturday night. Damian Nelson sitting alongside
What was so funny about
David
that?
Hero. Well, Cousin Jack's in the studio
Well,
this week.
because Ring of Honor is coming to town.
Ring of Honor is coming to town, just like Santa Claus is coming to town.
You calling Cousin Jack Santa Claus?
No, he doesn't
That's
have a
going to
beard.
terrify a whole bunch of kids.
David Nelson
He does
sitting
have
alongside
ho-ho-hos.
David Hero. Let's talk about the WWE report for this week, folks. And let's go back to WWE Raw and the beginning of that broadcast with John Cena and Paul Heyman with some verbal sparring on the microphone, which led to a matchup between John Cena and Cesaro, which was tremendous. And folks, I got to tell you this. I know a lot of you hate John Cena. I know a lot of you feel you're sick of Cena. You're done with Cena. Cena sucks. But what he and Heyman did on the microphone on Monday was magic, was gold, was perfect. It was passion, and that was the focal point of their conversation. With John Cena bringing up the passion that Heyman had for ECW, John Cena talking about the passion he has for his job, for that business that is wrestling, for WWE, and admitted to John Cena that come SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar will destroy him. Yet, he does still plan to walk out the WWE champion. Hey, let's think back to that match in 2012 at Extreme Rules, I believe it was.
We were there.
We were there, and Brock Lesnar kicked John Cena's tail.
Yes, he did.
He beat him like a government mule, if you will, yet John Cena still won that matchup.
And why did John Cena win? Because it was a no-hold-barred Extreme Rules kind of match.
Correct.
Brock Lesnar will not lose to John Cena in a wrestling match.
Brock Lesnar will not lose to John Cena in a wrestling match.
Yes.
And come SummerSlam, it is a wrestling match.
It's a wrestling match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
John Cena,
Yes.
fantastic. Paul Heyman, fantastic. Cesaro, fantastic. Great way to open up Raw, and then Raw would end
what,
just
but-
as hot
but-
as it opened.
Here's the frustrating thing. Everyone's tweeting, oh, John Cena buried Cesaro. John Cena beat Cesaro. Of course he did.
Buried?
He's the babyface. He's supposed to beat the heel, building up toward SummerSlam. Is John Cena supposed to lose to Cesaro as the champion going into a big match with Brock Lesnar? No, he has to beat the other Paul Heyman guy right now.
Could you once again share with the world, especially those who are online, the definition of buried? Because they still think Sandow's
If
being
you
buried.
bury somebody, it means that they are never to be seen again. Cesaro is seen on TV every single week. He's not buried. He's might be being misused, but he's not buried.
Which is different from buried.
Yeah.
Well, a hot angle, again, it led to matches being made at SummerSlam, two of them. Firstly being between Rusev and Jack Swagger. Again, a lot of, well, I don't want to overuse the word, but it was a lot of passion, a lot of heart between those two and their little bit of a
That
beatdown this
match
past Monday night.
needs to be a brawl, bloody, boot camp, Sergeant Slaughter, Iron Sheik type fight.
With the boot?
Sure.
In the head?
Go back on the network, watch Sergeant Slaughter versus Iron Sheik boot camp match from Madison Square Garden.
Ooh, man.
That's how this match
Wow,
needs to be.
you whipped that out.
Oh, I talked about the match.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another matchup made and another beatdown, which was supposed to be a matchup between Roman Reigns and Kane on the end of Raw this past Monday night, turned into Reigns and Orton. Orton attacking Reigns.
He laid him out, didn't he?
Did lay him out, and the match is made for SummerSlam, Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns.
It's going to be an interesting match because I don't know if Randy Orton is still the upper mid-card guy anymore.
Really?
I just think he's lost a little. I mean, yeah, it was a great
You've said this
segment
about Orton before.
because he's there, but he's not there. He's like the main event guy that no one really cares about.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
He's extremely talented, but he's very vanilla at the same time.
how about
Bland, boring.
Thank you for clarifying.
Well,
that.
you know,
How about
not flavorful.
How about Bo Dallas and the streak being ended by R-Truth?
I never would have thought R-Truth would end the streak.
And then he beat him again last night on SmackDown. Granted, that one's by disqualification, but
I mean, it's amazing how they invest so much into Bo Dallas' streak to have R-Truth take it away. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't get it.
isn't it almost good though that it did happen that way? And what was it, we got to 17 or 16 matches? Bo Dallas is growing on me. I'm intrigued now by Bo's
he's
character.
annoying. He's an acquired taste. You know, you have to.
Like vanilla?
No, more like Napoleon, or what is it called?
Neapolitan.
That's it. Napoleon, same thing. Little.
You saw Guardians of the Galaxy. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah?
I thought
Batista in that film?
Batista was tremendous.
Really?
He was far better than I thought he was going to be. Everyone that hated Batista from Royal Rumble through WrestleMania is going to love him in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, it's been 6 months.
And you know what? I was never into green chicks before, but that Gamora is hot.
You don't watch Doctor Who, do you?
What?
Much more to talk about as it pertains to World Wrestling Entertainment. We will do so on the other side of this very brief timeout as the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time continues here on My 24 Milwaukee.
Don't miss your chance to catch the best pro wrestling on the planet. Ring of Honor Wrestling returns to Milwaukee for Death Before Dishonor 12 at the Turner Hall Ballroom Friday, August 22nd at 7:30 p.m. with appearances by the phenomenal AJ Styles, the Young Bucks, Christopher Daniels and Frank Kazarian, ROH legends the Briscoes, the new world champ Michael Elgin, and many more. Experience body slamming, brain busting pro wrestling action live. Visit ROHWrestling.com now for tickets and info.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time Saturday night. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero here on August 2nd. We've been talking about WWE. And wow, what a hot ending to Raw this past Monday night, folks. And I, for one, was taken aback by how great it was. Stephanie McMahon, who was arrested last week, at least on television, due to her attack on Brie Bella. Brie Bella has been invited to Raw. Stephanie wants her to drop the charges. Stephanie is humbled by the experience.
She was humbled in jail, too.
Wait, how does that work in... We can't have that conversation here.
Well, that's an online exclusive. Literally.
But wow, Stephanie McMahon with the slap to the face after the match is made for SummerSlam between the two. Brie Bella goes down. Stephanie McMahon ends it with, I'm going to make you my blank at SummerSlam.
Ex-wife, yeah, exactly.
What a way to end Raw. And now Stephanie's a great talent. Brie Bella's a good talent, but they exceeded expectations this past Monday night.
But if Stephanie McMahon hits Brie Bella with that slap, it's over. I mean, she was knocked unconscious.
She was out cold. She
and
got
let's
knocked
not
the heck
forget,
out.
you know what? You can go work on the indies. You can go to NXT. You can win a Diva search. But here's the thing. When you grow up as Vince McMahon's daughter in the business, you are just that much better than everybody else. And Stephanie McMahon proved it again why she is the HBIC when it comes to the WWE Divas.
Glad you put a B in there. Now, there are some things you just can't teach, right?
No,
to the point
you're
of
born with it.
growing up a McMahon. There are some things you cannot teach. You've heard about people having it in the wrestling business. Stephanie McMahon.
There's no way Stephanie should lose to Brie Bella. There isn't.
Maybe she will.
And I'm sure she will, but she shouldn't, because Stephanie McMahon is one of the greatest performers, I will say, of this era right now. She is larger than life.
Well,
she is like
great.
her father. She is a larger than life character that is believable.
And while this was great, I still think back to the Survivor Series 2001, the night after on Raw, where her and Shane came back after the alliance had folded, and she attempted to explain to her father why, I'm young, I'm naive. And Vince goes, security, get this woman out of my ring. She's just a great performer. And I just am so surprised that one of the matches I'm most looking forward to at SummerSlam now is
that
Stephanie
one?
McMahon versus Brie Bella.
And that match will be so over-agented and produced, because you got to figure Hunter's going to be involved in it. The agents in the back will be involved. Daniel Bryan might get involved. Nikki Bella might be. I mean, there's going to be so much nonsense.
But you need that.
And shenanigans. You're going to have to.
Yeah.
Because Stephanie hasn't been in the ring, like she said, in over 10
She's a former
years.
Divas champion.
She is, but you can't kick the rust off after 10 years. You can't.
Depends on the kind of bike.
That's more than a 10-speed.
Let's go now, ladies and gentlemen, to Linda Kay with this week's Hot News.
Really?
Welcome to PWR Hot News, bringing you the biggest wrestling news stories of the week. The next NXT Live special titled TakeOver 2 on the WWE Network has been announced for September 11th. The NXT and women's titles will be defended, and the winner of the #1 contender tournament will face the Ascension. Triple H also announced that there will be a new NXT GM. WWE released its second quarter business results on Thursday, and the company revealed a $15 million loss and announced that it was slashing 7% of its corporate workforce in an effort to save money. The company also revealed that the WWE Network would be releasing its most international markets just before SummerSlam and will be available on TV in Canada. It was also stated that the network currently has 700,000 subscribers, but that they lost 138,000 since the launch. TNA has announced that DJ Z has signed a new multi-year deal with the company. Z started with TNA in 2011. WWE announced the release of Ricardo Rodriguez from his contract on Thursday as well. PWR has independently confirmed that Rodriguez actually decided to leave the company on his own, and his release was approved. And that's it for this week's hot news, and now let's find out what is on David Hero's mind with this week's DHHS.
For some reason, the WWE Universe, or the IWC, has not embraced Roman Reigns the way most would have thought. Fans have been asking, even begging at times, for new stars. And you got 3 of them, The Shield. All 3 men have been elevated to upper mid-card and even main event status, and the fans are still not happy. In time, Seth Rollins will be a top main event guy. But the fact is, the WWE needs someone in case John Cena goes down. Reigns is the new chosen one, and only Roman Reigns can stop Roman Reigns. The WWE gave you CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. Both have not been factors due to quitting the company and injuries. Now it's the WWE office that has decided. The most profitable stars have had larger-than-life characters. Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man, the Warrior, The Rock, and Steve Austin. Reigns may not be at that level yet, but he is definitely on the right path. And with that, David Hero has spoken.
Welcome to the PWR Event Center, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. On Sunday, August 10th, join us at an evening with Kevin Nash and friends at 7 p.m. at the Miramar Theater, located at 2844 Oakland Avenue. Nash will be joined by Al Snow and X-Pac. Tickets are available now at blizzardbrawl.com, and all tickets include a post-show meet and greet with Big Sexy. See Ring of Honor Wrestling when they return to Turner Hall on August 22nd. Tickets are available now at rohwrestling.com. Join PWR in a private suite at the Staples Center for SummerSlam and see the show in style. Tickets are available now at pwrshow.com for the low price of only $150 each. That's right, buy now before the price goes up next week. WWE SmackDown returns to the BMO Harris Bradley Center on September 30th, and tickets are available now via Ticketmaster. That's it for this week's Event Center, presented by Gruber Law Offices.
Hey, hey, do you wanna be famous? Everywhere you go, people know what your name is. Everyone you know trying to tell you you're changing. They wanna taste that. Hey, hey, do you wanna be famous? Everywhere you go, people know what your name is. Everyone you know trying to tell you you're changing. They wanna taste that.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night. Damian Nelson sitting here alongside David Hero, and what a show it's been so far.
You know what?
You had an exclusive breaking news story earlier tonight?
Yeah, and I kept quiet, even through Twitter. I didn't mention it until we got here.
You know what? Speaking of Twitter, I'd like to make a bold announcement here, David Hero. While we want you to tweet and win, and we want to hear what you guys have to say.
Oh, it makes me nervous when you want to get bold all of a sudden.
Like Doritos.
Yeah. Cool Ranch.
No, Nacho Cheesier.
Of course.
I am giving up the internet until SummerSlam. Not going to a single wrestling news site. I may not even go on Twitter.
What?
I damn sure won't be on Facebook. You know what? I'm done.
Whoa,
with
bro,
that.
but you're in the competition continues. You got to post your.
I don't have to look at stuff to post.
Oh,
I
okay.
can still post.
Okay.
I'm just not looking at and reading
Okay.
anything because
Okay.
everything's so wrong. Everything's so just.
Boy, are you righteous today all of a
No,
sudden.
not righteous. I want to enjoy SummerSlam as a fan.
Okay.
So I am not.
Well, you will. I've seen, Jameson's going to be there. You'll enjoy it.
I want to enjoy it as a fan, so I'm not going to let the internet ruin me. And these comments and these questions and these false reports and these speculations and these rumors and these exclusives. Through SummerSlam, and I'll report as to how it did better or worse in my experience at the biggest party of the summer in Los Angeles.
I can't do what you do.
There is so much evidence to that. Let's go to this week's TNA report, ladies and gentlemen. TNA Impact Wrestling presented Destination X on Spike TV last night. Thursday night. And it opened up with a great tag team matchup, the American Wolves versus the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy. The Wolves win that matchup, David Hero, and that was the right thing to do.
It was the right thing to do.
We talked about how great the Hardys were. The Hardys came reunited last week on Impact. It seemed as if they would get the obvious win over the tag team champions, yet they did not. The Wolves get the win cleanly. In
nice job for the Hardy Boys to do business right, help elevate the Wolves as the top tag team. They might be one of the top tag teams in the world right now, the Wolves.
Two great talents in Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards. Two great talents in the Hardys as well. This was less of a nostalgia feeling, though, with the Hardys reuniting than it was with, as we talked about last week, with the whole ECW reuniting. And by the way, I think they would have been better off had they not started the show with Dixie Carter and guys she's going to fire next week. And her talking into the microphone. Now it led to EC3 talking and making a matchup or challenging.
You like EC3?
Which led to he is endorsed.
He is endorsed.
Absolutely, he is. Led to the 8-man weapons match that's going to happen next week. But just skip the Dixie part, ladies. And that's not Dixie hate. I have no problem with Dixie Carter.
Well, you are crossing that Dixie line today, aren't you?
In my life, and she's a sweet, nice lady. But I don't want to hear her on the microphone.
No, you don't like to hear her talk?
On the microphone, no.
How else would you hear her talk?
Face to face, person to person.
Okay, gotcha.
On the telephone.
All right, I get you.
Less Mr. Telephone Man. There's something wrong with my line.
I'm looking forward to Impact next week.
Well, let's talk about this week before we get to next week. And also, 3 people qualified in the X Division qualifiers for the matchup next week to determine the new X Division champion, as Austin Aries cashed his in for his chance last Thursday in the match with Bobby Lashley for the championship. Loki, Sonata, and Samoa Joe advance to the X Division qualifiers. Who do you think walks out with the X Division championship next week on Impact from the Manhattan Center?
I don't think Loki. He's back just for a couple weeks. But, Sonata's been pretty solid lately.
Is he
And that's Linda Kay's favorite wrestler.
Services for James Storm?
What?
James Storm, was bossing him around and telling him where to stand.
He's not a geisha.
I'm sorry?
No.
Is there a tiger crouching?
I don't know. I just think James Storms is multicultural.
Bobby Lashley defeats Austin Aries clean in the main event matchup for the TNA Championship.
Bobby Lashley's beating everybody clean right now.
Bobby Lashley is a star, a stud, and a champion. As you said, David Hero, he is helping that company as opposed to hurting that company, which is a real good thing. And as you said, next week, it is the 8-man Extreme War between the Carter Clan and ECW for next week as Destination X continues on Spike TV. Now, here's what was a bit perplexing, though, at the end of the broadcast. I didn't expect them to tell us that Dixie Carter is going to go through a table next week on Impact Wrestling.
They want big ratings for next week.
But do enough people care about Dixie Carter to care that she finally goes through a table?
The people in TNA think so, yes.
Because of tweets and such?
Yes. You don't think so?
But I don't.
You don't want to see Dixie get wood?
Thanks, folks, for tuning in to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime here on My 24.
You don't?
We'll be back with a brand new episode again next week. And be sure to check us out at pwrshow.com, where you can watch all of our episodes online and also interact with us there. For that one, this is Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.